Sir, do you know why I pulled you over?
Speeding?
No, it's because your intro sucks. Please step out onto the curbside.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Curbside Podcast, the podcast where we talk about cars and everything to do with cars. My name is Jeff. I drive a 2004 Honda S2000 and I am your Southern Californian Taiwanese American. I have my freaking monitor on
Okay.
on the GarageBand and I can hear my own voice. And it's kind of laggy, so this is what's going on right now.
It's S2000.
It's all
Right.
Californian.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn that off, but I'm not gonna be able to know how loud I'm being. So sorry about that.
Well, my name's Parth. I have a 2016 M3, living up in Bay Area, Northern California. Okay.
I'm Andrew. I'm Andrew. Drive a 2014 Evo 10 MR and a 2015 Subaru BRZ. Oh, live in California, Bay Area.
It's happy Friday, everybody.
Yay!
It's just the Friday afternoon things.
Yeah, it's
None
the
of us want to
weekend.
be here, but we're here. Because we like making podcasts, that's why we're here. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not that we don't want to be here, but it is Friday. That's what I'm trying to say. We like doing what we do.
Are you sure, Parth? It doesn't sound
yeah,
like it.
Yeah. No, we like it. We like it. We put a smile on. We do what we got to do, you know? Yeah.
Now
Yeah,
it sounds
okay.
like you don't like it even more.
Anyway, what do you guys think your taste or what cars you like have changed ever since you've gotten into cars?
How far back we talking?
Like the moment you realized you started liking cars.
Well, I mean, I started liking, like, my dream car used to be, like, the Honda Odyssey.
Okay.
And then it turned into a Hummer, and then I think a smart car, and then finally normal cars. Like, like NSX and S2000s. But I think one thing that's changed is that before I used to, like, not get the whole modified car scene, especially during, like, the early 2000s with the, like, neon underglow and
No.
weird
Yeah.
looking stickers. I was like, why? It looks so...
Yeah.
It looks kind of terrible.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, recently I've grown to more, like, appreciate modified cars, but starting to think about, like, the headaches that come with it. I'm, like, falling out of that. Not because I don't think they're cool, it's just because I'm lazy.
Well, for me, I have changed a lot, and I'm still changing. The first thing, actually, it's similar to you, Jeff. I didn't used to understand like modified cars at all. Like
Yeah.
people would like riced up or souped up like Civics and fucking like WRXs, STIs, even Evos. Sorry, Andrew.
No, that's fine.
Back then, I was like, why would you want to drive like a basic ass looking economic Japanese car and then try to make it look sick? Like, it's not even that sick, dude. Like, you just put some like stripes on it, like, oh my god, and then you put like an exhaust and shit, and you think it sounds so cool and like you're so sick and everything. I was like, are you trying to compete? Like you can't afford like I used to think Ferraris and like the high performance exotic stuff was the only thing. Like that's it. Like if you don't have that, you're not a real car person, and you're just trying to
Everything else sucks.
Everything else sucked, and then you just were trying to like make your shitbox into like something comparable somehow.
So you're not a car person if you don't own a Ferrari.
That's exactly what I used to think. I was just used to be like, and then. Thanks to Prob, actually, the boy with the WRX. So he got a WRX in 2015 and 14, one of those 2 years. And he was all about like modding and stuff. He knew all this shit about like modding cars and all that stuff even before he had his WRX. So because of him, I was shown the modded car community, not just like how sick like modding your car can be and like kind of making it your own, but also like the community. And I was like, yo, dude, the people in this community are 10 times better than those shitheads with Ferraris and Lamborghinis. They don't even talk to you.
It's because we're normal people.
Right? Exactly. I started to realize, I was like, oh shit, dude, like this is a sick scene. Like, and then plus, then I started to appreciate the fact that a guy with an Evo can make 1,000 horsepowers and just like absolutely like shit on a Ferrari that costs like 10, 20, 30 times more. That then I started to be like, okay, I see, I get it, I understand now. That's why by always my want for the M3 is kind of reminiscent, like kind of a leftover from that time where it's like, oh, I just want the best that a manufacturer can make. You know. Now I look at it and I'm like, I would trade that in. Like, remember Andrew, I was talking to you about this. I was like, I want to get an E39 M5, older one, and I want to mod that shit. And I feel like that sounds like a lot more fun now than it would be to buy a new M3 or like the new M3.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it's like my change is a little bit more. It's a little more different. Like I think an Evo has been like my dream car since the beginning of fucking time.
Yeah.
I've never thought of like, oh, I have to have this car or whatever. And then I saw Too Fast, Too Furious, that green Evo, and you guys talked about like how like, early 2000s modifications were tacky or whatever, but it's so period.
That is, like, actually, that's one of the reasons why I didn't like it, because I watched the Fast and Furious movies and I'm like, why the fuck would you want to make your car look like that with those neon underglows and shit?
But like at the time, like obviously now anyone in the modded car scene now looking back would be like, damn, that shit was tacky. Like no one's gonna do that.
Yeah.
But like at the time, like that was the shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's why at the time I was like, I can't. Back then I was like, no.
Yeah. But I think where I'm at now is like, I understand why people like expensive cars now.
Okay.
Like before it was like, I couldn't tell an M3 from a 318.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I understand like there's tiers to this shit, and like 911s, there's like a bajillion different tiers to that too, and like each one is special in its own way. So I think that's where I've grown an appreciation for nicer cars. I wouldn't say like well, no, that's not true. I'd like a 911. But yeah, I would just say like that now, like those kinds of cars are like on the map for me.
Yeah. See, I'm actually kind of shifting where it's like now, and right before we came on, I saw this few photos of this sick Supra somebody had posted up on Facebook. And I was like, damn, that looks fucking sick. And that shit got me excited. Now somebody posts a photo, or if I see like a Ferrari or Lamborghini, and I also feel like this is partly because I'm become jaded now. If I see a picture of Ferrari or Lamborghini, I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, that's it. I think I'm at the point now with especially those expensive cars, because I indulge myself so much in like that scene. Because I went to so many, like, went to Monterey Car Week, went to, 100 Octane, Cars and Coffees, that kind of shit. That I'm like, if I see a LaFerrari, it'll turn my head, 100%. Yeah. And I'll be like, ooh, LaFerrari, sick. That's it. My next thought will be, I want to drive one. Like, now it's like, oh, new Ferrari's out, new this, that. I don't give a shit. Let me drive it. That's what I care about. Before it's kind of like, oh, wow, that's so cool. Oh, my God, that's so sick. Look at it, so sick. Put a poster up on your wall. I don't give a fuck. Let me drive it. That's what I care. And I feel like now, and this kind of trickles down to the cars that, I'm known to like, which is the German kind of cars. Obviously, M3. Now, I'm kind of like, go America, bro. And you guys know this. That's a recent change. Where now, like, somebody's like, oh, I'm considering a C63 AMG. Oh, my God, it's so sick. It's so fast. I'm like, did you ever consider a Hellcat? It's, like, better and cheaper. Me, 5 years ago, would never have done that.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I won't believe it until you buy one.
Dude, I want to. Like, either a Hellcat or a Raptor or some shit, or the new Corvette. Because I'm just like, I'm looking at it. I'm like, German cars have become so expensive. And they all fucking drive the same. They all have a shit ton of horsepower and a shit ton of torque. And they all are great at handling. They all can go around the goddamn Nürburgring faster than a Formula 1 car from 20 years ago. That I'm just like, what makes it special? right? And then you see these American cars come out, and you're like, I can get a Mustang GT350R, which has sick track times, for half the price of an M5? I'm down.
Yeah, and you can get like just stupid rowdy with it too.
Yeah, and it looks cool, you know. I mean, I understand that half of the car is plastic, and, you know, Detroit is not really known for its, you know, manufacturing genius, but
Whatever.
who cares, right?
Yeah.
And I'm the type of person that I want to own many cars. I want to be able to experience many cars. I will never just live with one unless it's like some like classic shit, right?
But see,
But-
that's why you modify it.
See, yeah, and I understand it now, dude. That's what I'm saying. You're tired of this modification? Change it up.
Exactly. I think over the years I've opened my eyes to other things other than Japanese cars. Because like when I was like
Yeah.
when I first got into cars, I was like, okay, JDM is the fucking shit. Like JDM AF, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I've grown to appreciate American cars for sure. Like I like the new Mustang a lot. German cars I do like. Like after driving your M3, I was like, holy
Yeah.
shit, this like it just feels different.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's too many Japanese cars I want to own first before
Yeah.
diving into the Euro world. But
I don't know, dude. I'm this somebody who was in the Euro world, and I'm kind of just annoyed with everybody in it now. From the
Yeah, see-
owners to the manufacturers to like I don't know, man. I love my car, but everything else, man, it's just not. Everybody has an M3 now. That's what it feels like.
mhm.
It feels like everybody
like-
and their moms has an M3 or an M4.
yeah, there's like I feel like now more than ever there's a stigma behind being a Euro car owner.
Yeah. Seriously.
I feel like recently I've been really wanting an old 60s car or an 80s car.
Retro.
80s cars I used to hate, like
Same.
their design. Back in the early 2000s, I looked at it, I was like, those things are so ugly and old.
Yeah.
And then now I look back, I'm like, straight lines. Kinda cool. Kinda dig the boxy.
No, I agree with that because I was looking at a picture of what is it? The Aston Martin, the James Bond one, the DB, the old one, the DBS, or is it 8 or
5?
9? 5? That one, yeah. So I was looking at pictures of the old one. I'm like, damn, they made nice looking cars back then, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like you look at that, you're like, and I remember when I first saw that car, I was like, look at this old ass Aston. Like, look at this thing. Why it's not even? But now I'm like, damn, that looks good. You know?
Yeah. Dude,
Like
pretty
you-
much I've realized like almost any car from the 50s and 60s is beautiful.
Right?
Yeah. I would love especially a 60s like American car or a 60s Italian car.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
like those 60s Alphas and like
Ooh.
oh, they're so pretty.
Yeah.
And I just imagine like how fun it would be to drive. They're making a great noise. They look good. The A
It's
pillars
just
are
a simple
thin.
car. Yeah, simple
You
car.
feel like you're inches from death.
Yeah.
And I would love that. And in terms of, I feel like American cars back in the 60s were the complete opposite,
Yes.
right?
But they were baller. Like the old Bel Airs and stuff, dude.
Yeah.
Imagine cruising in that shit.
Yeah, Italian cars were like these tiny little things, and America was like excessively
Grandiose.
large. Yeah,
Aircraft carriers. Actual aircraft carriers.
yeah. There was this time where I didn't understand those cars before, but then there was this time where over here near where I live at one of the shopping centers, they had a car show. It was filled with just old 60s American Impalas and all those things.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the shopping center street, there was like a large fire truck with an American flag hanging down from it. And then there was a stage with people like singing country music. And I was like, this is the most American thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
And it feels awesome. And I would like
Yeah.
part of this life.
Dude, boomers booming.
Right? That's a similar thing, Jeff. I got a friend of mine. He used to be our neighbor. This guy named Eddie. Good guy. Eddie Reyes. Shout out to him. Him and his dad used to be big time into these old American cars. And I never understood it. I was like, what the fuck is this, dude? Like, I'm like, of course they like these weird ass looking American cars and shit. Like, why would anybody like this? And then now he moved away, and I think he went out and bought his own like '60s Impala, and he fully got that shit like looking brand new, and then put some wheels and stuff on it. But you look at that car on his stories, and I'm just like, yo, it looks sick, dude. Like, you know, I think I messaged him too. Like, you know, I used to bag on these cars back in the day, but yours looks sick, man. I don't know. I just grew an appreciation for it. I'm like, I guess I used to be all about like chasing the fastest car in the world, fastest around the ring. That's what got me, you know, like, yes, that's the car. But now I'm like, equally, yeah, something baller that looks sick to just cruise around in. Why not? Fat ass wooden steering wheel and shit.
Yeah. I wonder if any of this has to do with like owning and driving a car. Other than like when we were kids, we were just like spectators and like looking at videos or whatever.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know, you could be right, because I used to bag on S classes a lot. I used to hate it. I told you guys about this. I'm like, why the fuck would anybody buy an S class for $100,000? You can go buy, again, my dumb ass, you can go buy a nice ass, you know, M or a cheap Ferrari for that much, right?
But you didn't drive LA to SF yet.
Right? I had not driven LA to SF in an S class yet. And then when we had the S class, I was like, I get it. I completely get it. I want an S class now in the future in my garage. Like, it makes sense. I understand why people love these cars. Like, not everything has to be about going 200 miles per hour, you know, around a racetrack and shit. Like, sometimes you just want to cruise.
On the kind of the opposite end of the spectrum with like the old 60s like Italian cars, sometimes when you're driving like modern cars, it's like it's nice, it's comfortable, but it's like so detached from everything.
Yeah. Bro, the most like driving experience, like pure driving experience I ever had was me and my dad used to go to this driving range out in Sonol, and the owner there had his old 944 Porsche, you know, the front engine they used to make back in the day. And it was a 6-speed manual, no power steering. That's it. And then me and my dad, we went there like, hey, John, like, you know, this is a nice car, you're selling it. And he's like, yeah, you know, you guys want to buy it? My dad's like, not really, man, but it would be amazing to take it for a spin. He throws the keys. He's like, here, go ahead and drive it. And then my dad's like, oh, shit. And he's like, hey, Parth, you drive it too. I was like, no way, dude. And I was 16, so I just got my license and stuff. And backing the thing out of the parking spot was a fucking mission, dude. Dude, no power steering is next level, dude. Holy crap. Like, you don't understand how hard that shit is.
Yeah, it sucks.
And this was a Porsche. So when we were driving it down the street, it was loud, the exhaust made noise, every gear change made noise. You could feel literally every rock you drove over in that car. It felt so visceral. And that was a Porsche. Like, which Porsches are known to be more refined than the most sports cars, right? So I couldn't imagine driving like an Italian sports car from that same era. It was an incredible experience that to this day have not met anything that raw of driving, like, unless it's like a golf cart. I think golf carts are more exciting than some of these cars these days.
Golf carts are very fun.
That's the only reason I play golf ever.
So
I could drive around the range in a golf cart.
When I'm not playing good golf, I literally tell my dad, I'm gonna drive up and down this hole 3 times while you finish it. And I'm trying to make a little circuit out of it. I'm sitting there trying to hit the apexes on the cart path.
All right, shall we go to our break?
Yes.
All right, break time. As always, check us out at thecurbsidepodcast.com, where you'll find links to all our things, and then we have a YouTube channel. Go subscribe there. We don't have too many videos right now, but hopefully some will be coming soon.
Oh yeah, check it out. I recorded a video yesterday. Got some new headlights on the Evo, so if you're interested in that, check it out. They look sick. Other than YouTube, you can also check us out on social media. Instagram at the Curbside Podcast, Twitter at Curbside Pod, and Facebook at facebook.com/the Curbside Podcast. And
send us an email for any email sending needs. The Curbside Podcast at gmail.com. Do this every week and try to make it different. It's not working out. It's too many weeks, man.
How many different ways can you say an email?
Right, the same fucking thing. How do you make it different? You can't. Send us the damn email.
Cool. And with that being said, let's go back to the show. All right, back to the show.
News time.
Big news.
Big news.
Like the only news.
Literally the only news.
Like every single car news thing is covering this right now.
And non-car news.
True.
LeBron James is covering this shit.
The new Hummer EV has been announced in all of its glory, and it looks like a warthog from Halo.
It does, but it looks sick though. Yeah, I love it too.
I love okay, so I love the original Hummer as a kid. My dream car was a big yellow Hummer, right? The
H2.
Yeah. But there were a couple things that never worked about it, right? One, it was just a dressed up Chevy Tahoe, so it had shared a lot of the same bits, which made you wonder, why would you pay so much for it then? And then I think the big thing that killed it was the financial crisis, and then it being basically synonymous with gas guzzling non-green cars.
Global warming is Hummer global warming.
Right? That's what it was.
If anybody wanted to make a presentation about global warming, there was a picture of a Hummer in that slide on their PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah, and you were literally the biggest piece of shit if you were seen driving one down the road.
Yeah.
Right? But now, how the turns have tabled.
How the yes.
Tables have tided.
Yes.
The new
turns
Hummer
the table, dude. Yeah.
is one of the first EV. Well, Hummer calls it a super truck.
It looks like a fucking super
I have
truck,
not
man.
looked at anything, Jeffrey, this week about the Hummer. No stats, no nothing, just so you can tell it to me. Lay it on us.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, here it goes, right? Okay, important thing. One of the big important things is that they've got the look of the Hummer down.
Yes.
Can I just mention real quick, too?
Yes.
Like, you're talking about the H2. That shit aged horribly.
Yes, it did.
So
Like,
bad.
It looks horrible seeing one on the road now.
Right?
Yeah.
H1, H2, H3. All look no, okay, H1 is an exception because
Yeah, the original Humvee.
H1, but
yeah.
H2 and 3 look fucking terrible.
Yeah,
H3 was a cop out, dude. Like that was just sad. If you owned an H3, you were just like, I don't know what you were trying to accomplish in your life because that car was on its way out even before it came in.
Yeah, no, like, the moment I saw this new Hummer EV, I was like, maybe I should, relive my childhood dreams again and go back and see how much an H2 or an H3 costs. I went and looked online for them. I was like, these things look terrible.
Yeah.
But for this new design, it looks like a Hummer.
Yes.
Big, bold, square.
Yeah.
It looks massive.
Yeah.
And, that's one of the main things for a Hummer. The reason why it looks so massive, I think, is because it's got, a skateboard, battery, and motor type deal.
Mm-hmm.
But in the Hummer's case, it's double stacked.
Whoa.
Oh.
Yeah. It has a
Shit.
double
Holy
stack
shit.
of batteries. So it's got a really thick skateboard. And the
Okay.
body sits on top of that. That powertrain provides you with, these things. All right? It provides you with 1,000 horsepower. 11,500 pound-feet of torque.
Oh my god.
Pound-feet of torque. Yeah.
There's this mode that GM calls the watts to freedom mode. It's basically a 0 to 60 mode. I'm pretty sure they called it that stupid name because they wanted to put WTF mode. But it gets your car, it does things, and it gets the truck from 0 to 60 in 3 seconds.
Jesus. This thing probably weighs like 10,000 pounds.
Yeah, how much
too.
does it weigh? Do you have a weight on this one?
I do not know. I don't know if we have that right now. But let's go on to a little bit more of the specs. You see, Hummer has always been about excess.
Yes.
Right? This guy, in terms of off-road capability, has 35-inch tires standard,
Mm-hmm. That's good.
and it will fit 37s with no problem. They're like, yeah,
Oh.
37s. If you want to put them on there, nothing. You don't have to do anything. We've got a standard 10 inches of ground clearance. And the air suspension has a mode called extract mode that gets it up to 16 inches of ground clearance. And it's got a what's called it. So this car has rear wheel steering like a Warthog, but it's
Oh, it
called
has that
what's
crab
called,
thing.
yeah. So it could actually, in certain situations, turn the wheels, all four of them, in the same direction, and it could drive diagonally.
Amazing.
Which is fun. Also, if you want to direct a movie using this Hummer, you could do that too, because you have the option to get up to 18 cameras.
Holy shit.
Like built in?
Yes, built-in 18 cameras. I think 2 of them are underbody. So you can,
What kind of cameras are we talking? 4K, 60 FPS? What's going on with the cameras, man?
Who knows, man? And then they have a user interface that's powered by Parth. You should know this, being that you're gaming and now the Unreal Engine.
Oh, no way.
So that's that. So it's got the characteristics of the looks and the fact that it's just overpowered in every single.
What's
aspect.
the range? What's the range we're looking at?
Range is less impressive. It's a little over 350 miles.
Okay, that's better
Doesn't
than I
matter.
was expecting.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. That's so many.
With 1,000 horsepower and 1,150 pound-feet of torque, whatever that was.
Yeah, and it's got some special thing that allows it to be charged, with the fastest charging type thing.
So can I
That
use like a
gets-
Tesla supercharger on this shit?
Not that, but you can
Okay.
use the ones that. So they say you could add an extra 100 miles of range in just 10 minutes with that
Oh,
charger,
God.
and that's the Hummer. You could also
So
take the
you
roof
know-
off if you want.
You know how I'm very anti-EV? We talked about this on one of the recent
Yes.
episodes, right? This is the kind of shit that will change people like me. This is that shit right there, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I want one now, a lot.
This thing, I think, will have like the Raptor effect, where like car enthusiasts didn't give a shit about trucks, and then all of a
Yeah,
sudden,
and now it's like, yes.
It also comes with the Hummer tax. Back then Hummers were not cheap, right? When
Yeah.
they first came out, the H1 was around $100,000.
Yeah.
The H2 came in at $50,000, which is like $60,000 now, and then the H3 was $30,000, which is $40,000 now. They're going to be selling the Edition 1, which is top of the range, loaded to the gills, for $113,000.
That's
Not that
actually,
bad.
that's not that bad. I was expecting worse, again.
And they'll actually be releasing over for 2020, like along the lines like 2022, 23, and 24. They'll be releasing cheaper ones, which will be $90,000 and $80,000.
So let's put it this way.
fuck
100,
yeah.
You said 113, yeah?
Yeah,
$113,000 gets you this Hummer. And again, it's new, hype. Everyone loves hype. And
Yeah.
we'll talk more about it in a little bit. I would buy this over a Range Rover, which costs almost double.
yeah. And here's the thing: like, I think this is a smart move by GM, because they use the Hummer name. People like Hummers. Let's be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
Like, it appeals to the kid in everyone. And then, since it's an EV, it's already gonna cost more than your average, truck by then.
Mhm.
But if you just bury it under like the Hummer name and under the super truck idea, it doesn't seem all too bad.
Yeah, it doesn't.
and
And
you
if you...
compare it to a Model X.
Exactly. Yeah, you're not just some Bay Area geek buying that shit. You're a decent human being if you buy a Hummer.
Yeah, there's gonna be some full-fledged Americans buying this shit, man. America's
Yeah.
fucking back, Jeffrey. Insert the fucking bald eagle noises.
Fuck yeah, insert that shit in. We need that shit in. Fire some guns off 4th of July, bitch, right now. Yeah.
America is the greatest country in the whole fucking world.
And if you can't afford this shit, guess what? You can go buy yourself a new Bronco, which is sick. America is doing it right. This is what I was talking about, man. If you don't want to pay that $113,000 for a Hummer EV, go get yourself a nice ass Ford Bronco. That's also coming out soon.
Yeah, I'm hoping like to begin with, I'm waiting for them to release the SUV version of this because there will be one. They already teased that with a boxy back and a giant rear tire stuck to the back. That's gonna be, I think, fantastic. And I hope they release like a cheaper one, maybe a smaller-ish one, because I would still like to live out my childhood dream of owning a Hummer.
GMC, if you're listening to this podcast, send us one of these, and Jeffrey will be very happy. We will review it without
We'll
bias.
drive over everything.
Yeah. I will drive over any kind of German SUV you guys want.
We'll drive over Parth's M3.
We'll drive over it. Fuck yeah, dude, I'm down. America, bitch, insert the Eagles again.
So good job,
So
GMC.
quick question though.
Yes.
Good job. Yeah. That's all. Kudos. How does this work? Because right now, now we're starting to see. We're coming into this point where we're seeing more different electric car brands and manufacturers and stuff like that, right? So far, Tesla's been the most prolific. They've been the most wide expanse. You can find Tesla chargers, Tesla superchargers now literally anywhere. And that might be biased because I live in the Bay Area. But how does it work with like other brands and other manufacturers? Like, is now GMC going to have to go put out their own set of chargers all over the country? Like, how does that work?
They don't have to because there are already energy companies going out there and taking advantage of this new thing. And I think, I forgot which, I think it's one of the gas companies that's developing basically, or a car company that's developing Electrify America, which they go out and put, their own sort of like electric charging stations.
Yeah.
And there,
Wait, so are Tesla chargers proprietary?
Yes.
That's fucking
Tesla's like
Elon,
Apple.
dude. Dude.
But they come with an adapter.
Who does?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Wait, Hummers come with adapters?
No. Tesla chargers.
Oh, so no one can use Tesla chargers, but Teslas
they can use
other
anyone's.
Yes.
Fucking
These
assholes.
fucking pieces of shit, dude. Like, they're such a bad company. It's so bad.
Just
so
make
bad.
a universal one for everything. Jesus
Yeah, you
Christ.
guys are like the trendsetters anyway. Just beat everyone to it and make universal charging ports and put it all over the country.
There is a universal standard already that all the other electric cars use.
And
except for
Tesla just decided to just shove that where the sun don't shine.
Yeah, basically.
A piece of shit.
Okay, but eventually, sorry, this is totally off topic now, but eventually, like, if these other car EV brands take off, Tesla will have to, like, remove, right? Wouldn't it make sense for them to have to remove all of their Tesla chargers?
I mean, it still appeals to Tesla owners though.
Yeah, but like
I know, but, like,
that breed
hopefully-
won't survive long.
Yeah, I think eventually, once everyone gets on this EV train, which, like, is inevitable, there's going to be more, I'm assuming there's going to be more non-Tesla EVs out there than Teslas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but at the same time, it's like, how Apple still decides to stick with like Lightning instead of go with USB-C.
Yeah.
It works out for them, so I feel like if Tesla just kept their charging stations there, it would just be like a Tesla exclusive charging center.
That's fucking annoying. That's so different. That's kind of different, though. It's infrastructure compared to a fucking cable.
Yeah, that's true. Like, imagine your Hummer's low on, almost like gas, low on electric charge, and you pull up and the only thing there is Tesla. But you can't use it because it's proprietary, and you don't have their adapters.
That's annoying. You're going to have to get, like, some third-party Amazon EV charger adapters
Go on eBay, someone probably makes it.
that don't work. Like, you plug it in, your fucking car says, this accessory is not supported, or whatever.
Yeah, but good job, America. Good job, GMC. Keep it up. Keep shitting on Tesla.
Yes. Bald
Drive 'em
eagle
out.
noises again. Speaking of hype, I know we don't love the new G80. I don't know if this makes it any better, but for me personally, there's been this, like, I don't know if it's a trend, but it's just been happening where streetwear brands are collaborating with car companies like Bape and Pagani. They did their collaboration, but this, I think, is the first of its kind where a streetwear brand collabs on an actual car. So the brand Kith collaborated with BMW to create these. Originally, I think they were going to be one-offs, but they're actually going to start doing pre-orders on the new G80 M4.
Yeah, the G80 M4, the kit, they call it the kit M4, is gonna be available in like limited quantities. I think like 100 some or something like that.
150 units.
Yeah.
So this is like official OEM collab? Or?
Yes.
Dang.
Yeah. So you get some exterior bits. You get, I think the BMW, you get like a Kith badge in the back. It looks like an M badge. Badging up front.
You're right. In the other pictures, though, of the other one, the BMW badge also has like Kith around it, around the emblem.
I don't know if that's going to make it into production. That would be amazing, but I don't think BMW will let it slide.
Ooh, there's Kith like embossed all over the headrests.
So mainly, I think what you're getting really, I don't think there's any performance upgrades, but the interior is like just completely like bespoke, like one off. You get like the embossed Kith, the seats. You get the little logo on the seat as well. The black one I think looks amazing. You get a huge
grill.
Yeah.
Well, me and Andrew and Jeff had this conversation I think a week or two back where I sent them a picture of a black one, fully blacked out, and the only reason we liked it is because the grill just kind of camouflaged it.
It's hidden.
What a piece of shit car, man. Continue, sorry.
On this black model is showing like a big Kith logo on the carbon fiber roof. I think I don't know why. I'm a hype beast, but I think it looks amazing.
I like how the M logo just says Kith.
Yeah, like this is a very, very like factory custom car and 150 units. I think it's pretty awesome.
Well, BMW's trying to do this shit. They have to do this shit because they've been reading the comment section. Yeah, they've been reading the comment section on Instagram and Facebook and shit, where half the motherfuckers on there be like, "What have you guys done?"
Yeah, how much will it be?
I think $109,000 pre-orders
for an M4. Oh my god!
Can you imagine if Supreme?
I know. Okay, like Parth was saying, like they're doing this to push units, but like I'm like, why do they go to Kith? Like I know Kith is like it's cool and everything.
Maybe Supreme's like, nah, your car looks like dog shit. We don't want to be on that.
$109,250 and I think pre-orders are starting next month.
It says pre-orders start today.
Oh shit.
11 a.m. Eastern. So that was, what date is this article?
Andrew, did you miss the drop, dude?
I missed the fucking drop, dude.
You missed the drop.
Took an L on the fucking BMW.
Well, I think I saw this
12
today
hours
or
ago.
yesterday. So yeah.
It was today, so yeah.
You missed the drop, bro.
Nah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Can't afford that shit.
No, but yeah, like the only thing I like about this, I mean, it looks the black one looks better, especially from this angle. This red one, the front end looks like I just want to throw up. The cool part was actually the video that BMW did with the Kith, where they had all the old M3s and stuff like drive up together. That was a cool video. So if you guys go check that out on YouTube, it's worth watching. It's like a minute or two long.
Yeah. Oh, and I guess they're dropping apparel pieces too. Fuck, I missed it.
Oh god. Continuing with the BMW, some good news for people that actually like their M's. A replacement bumper for the 2021 M3 and M4 is already in the works. So
thank God.
Prior Design, which is a big brand in the aftermarket M community, they make good stuff. Expensive though, it's very expensive. They are already making an aftermarket bumper. It looks so much better. Prior Design is coming to the rescue to save BMW, literally save them. Because, imagine when BMW did their last fuck up, which was the Bangle Butt 5 Series, right? Ain't nobody came to the rescue. Ain't nobody was advanced enough to literally redesign a bumper for or rear bumper and taillights for 5 Series back then. But we live the modern day where an aftermarket company can say, you know what? We are the hero that everyone needs right now. And that's what Prior Design is doing. They're literally they're saving the day. BMW should pay them to be an in-house manufacturer. They are making the car the way it should have been. Look at this. It looks good now.
Do you think the person at BMW is fired already?
I mean, they've got to fire more than that because this thing. This
It
thing
got
made
through
it
a lot of approvals.
Yeah, many stages of approval. Is like, yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, but Prior Design, they're well known. They're a good company. They make a lot of good stuff, and they're saying that when the cars start becoming, start coming out, making more readily available, they'll have these bumpers ready, ready to go to put on your new car. Imagine having to buy a new car and then
And swapping
your bumper
immediately.
out. Yeah, I really want to see if this becomes a good enough trend and their prices. I mean, this will probably be expensive, but
Probably.
I thought of it this way: if somebody wanted to go buy the new M, right? Because it's the new M, it'll be the fastest. Of course, it'll perform well. It does look pretty good. Besides that front end, let's be honest. If you were gonna go buy it, and this bumper say it was $5,000, it was just pretty still hefty for a front bumper. But think of it this way: that's a $5,000 option that you might pay for from BMW. I'd pay it if I was looking to get a new M3 or M4.
Yeah.
Because
Can I check an option on the configurator in BMW to be like, hey,
No
ship
bumper.
my car with no bumper.
ship without the bumper. Yeah, but I'm glad Prior Design's doing this. I think they will single-handedly save BMW from what can be the biggest disaster they've ever done in the M division.
This is gonna be a big market, I feel like.
Oh, dude, I feel like it's going to be a huge market.
Yeah,
And-
they're smart.
And
We
that's
talked
a
about
good
this.
thing. Yeah. It was our idea. Everyone just fucking stole it.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's sue Prior Design.
Yeah. we'll send them a cease and desist with our video
Yeah.
attached with that link.
Yeah.
No, but
We want
Prior-
50%.
Holy shit.
More news from MURICA. There's a new speed record for production cars.
Oh
it's-
yeah.
It's now held by the SSC, a North American company. The car is called the Tuatara.
Tuatara, yeah. I was just saying, if this is an American car company, American car manufacturer, couldn't this call this like Liberty or
Yeah.
some shit like that, like Hope,
Fucking freedom.
Freedom, yeah.
Tuatara.
Guns.
Yeah, the Second Amendment, just call it that.
But so it hit an average speed of 316 miles per hour.
Holy
Average.
crap.
Which, yeah, right. Which you think that sounds impressive, but that's an average. It was an average between two runs: one 306 mile per hour run, and one 331 mile per hour run.
There's airplanes that can't fly that fast, bro. Like
331 miles per hour.
a 747 takes off at a lot less speed than that into the air, and it weighs
crazy.
a lot more stuff.
We had that story back then where Bugatti like broke the 300 mile per hour mark, but they were like, everyone was arguing like, oh, it's not a production car, it's not a whatever.
The whole thing with the tires.
Yeah, it was like, oh, it went over 300 miles an hour though. This thing just smoked that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter anymore, Bugatti. This is it. 1,750 horsepower.
How do you do that?
SSC Tuatara. It's got a that's on E85. It's got a flat plane. I think it's a V8. That's like definitely, forced induction somehow with an 8,800 RPM red light, which
Holy.
must be fun. Yeah, America.
Fucking more bald eagles. Boom, boom, boom.
Final piece of news. I don't have anything to really show about this. Elon Musk, earlier this week, had released and announced on Twitter that there's a public beta for their FSD, which, if you guys are not versed in Tesla, stands for full self-driving. So that beta is now available to Tesla drivers, but he did say that don't just go and rush to your Tesla and download the newest thing because you might not have it. It's apparently to select Tesla customers and Tesla customers that are supposedly, quote-unquote, better drivers and are safe. Don't know how they determined that.
It's better rolled out than basically the summon feature, which
Yeah.
was you know, very beta. That thing would run over shopping carts, children, men, and women, just to get to you at the front of the store. So this one is a better rollout than that, right?
I guess. Apparently. I don't know what their criteria was for selecting these select Tesla drivers and their driving skill.
How many Teslas they've gone through.
I mean, I don't understand what defines them as better Tesla drivers. But if you are one of those select few, maybe you should go check your Tesla and see if you have the full self-driving beta. But this whole news is pretty exciting too, because Tesla's actually going full self-driving, or they're starting to test it, I guess. So we'll see how it goes with that.
Good luck, everyone.
It's really not that hard just to drive your own fucking car. Come on.
It's really not, yeah. But there will be people who are selected by Tesla. So
They should select the people who can't drive cars.
yes.
Get rid of them. once
Yes.
and for all.
Oh, yeah. But yeah.
All right, well, that's going to be our show for this week. As always, you could check us out at thecurbsidepodcast.com, where you'll find links to all of our things. There's a Libsyn link there that takes you to all our platforms, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, and I think that's it. But go rate us on those apps anywhere you can. That will help us out. If you like the show, share it with your friends. Tell everybody. And also subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Again, you can find us on social media, on Instagram at The Curbside Podcast, Twitter at Curbside Pod, and Facebook at facebook.com/The Curbside Podcast.
And as always, thank you to Kid Dope for the intro and outro to our show, Fast Cars and Wild Arts.
And as always, my name's Jeff.
I'm Parth.
I'm Andrew.
Remember, drive safe, and life is too short to drive boring cars.
Doses.